And a very good evening. Let's see, am I really ready to do this? There we go. Good evening. This is Steve, and it's Wednesday evening, 6:15. And we are heating up. Actually, we are done heating up. Should be cooling back down. Today got up to 81 or so, I think. So it's been very out of the norm. I'm sure others of you have had the same. Well, tonight, I'm trying to make sure I pull back my pace. Just trying to run a slow, short distance tonight. So it always takes a little self-discipline to rein myself in. I'm running through the Kmart parking lot. For the time being, I am going to be on some no easier roads in a little bit. So I'll catch up with what I wanted to. Last Saturday, I don't remember if I recorded or not. I had a great run. I went out, kept my pace in check, and was intent on doing close to a 6-mile loop. So it was a little less. It's like 5 3/4. But I wanted to do it. Try to see if I could get to 6.2, but I didn't quite make that. But the good thing is I felt good about it the whole way. A slow enough pace, I knew I wasn't going to tax the old ticker. And then also, the legs were good. So at the end of it, I felt good, the legs felt good, and I could function just fine the rest of the day. The only thing was, it was 32 degrees, and I need to dress more properly. Certain parts of me don't want to get too cold. So, it's a good reminder as the colder season approaches to dress appropriately. And then Monday, I had taken Anna to her orchestra practice. Thought I would go out also at an easy pace with the mindset that, hey, I just ran 6 miles on Saturday, so don't overdo it. And I thought I'd probably be able to achieve that by running about the same pace. But in Bethlehem, it's not flat. And so you've got to make an effort. And I think the issue is, after climbing the hills, and so here comes a little bit of traffic. It's on one of those 3-wheelers. Kind of funny, he didn't seem to pay any attention that I might have been in his way. So instead of running up the hill to begin, up toward the historic part of Bethlehem, old Bethlehem, I ran down along the river, crossed it, and then went down to the Sands casino area, though it didn't really look like anything was going on. So the steel stacks where the old steel mill was. And where the Runner's World half marathon, 5K, 10K that weekend all takes place out of there. Took place last Friday and Saturday. So I just was really snooping around. And I just felt good the whole run. I felt like I was really lost in enjoying the run, though I think even by that time I was aware I had picked up the pace. It just felt good. So I was running down 3rd Street first and then crossed over to 4th Street. 4th Street was very, very different. It's interesting how different the neighborhoods can be just one block over. So you go down 3rd Street rather, and 3rd Street is shops, you'd almost say it's like a current scene, a scene of current nightlife. Then I was coming back down 4th Street. It was like current nightlife in a Latin American country. It was just that different, where a little upper end renewed to not upper end renewed, but renewed differently. So it was interesting running down 4th Street. I just felt really relaxed as I did that. You know, I've already veered off course here tonight. I was going to go down over to Sunday's Deli. And I will go past there. I just tacked on another mile, I think. So I'm going by the YMCA out onto Broad Street, and then back to front by the railroad station. Carlos and I were going back and forth after Monday's run, and he was saying the iSmooth Run app gives you the ability to set a pace, and it will report how you're doing, too fast, too slow. I keep pausing for cars to go by. Not because I'm out of breath, but just letting the sound of traffic move on. So I haven't committed to that yet. The app is $4.99 on the Apple App Store. I see sometimes it's been discounted, but I don't know. It was for the guy's birthday who developed it in 2015. So I should probably get it while the price is still $4.99. Just seems like a high price for an app. It is quite warm, so I've got my scoosh band. I keep forgetting that, but on cool days, that's one thing, but on a warm October evening, that could be another. All right, well, that catches you up for a little bit. Oh, one other thing I was going to catch you up on. I will... Interesting noise. I'll take a break on Broad Street and then catch back up to you on a personal kind of, well, a family matter.
Workout distance 1 miles. Workout total time 12.
Kind of making us all a little crazy.
4 seconds.
But his resolve. And so, after the traffic. All right, picking back up off of Broad Street. Now in front, beside the train station. So our daughter, she had a rough time over the last few days. She has a friend who she's been very close to, and they got, let's see, the simple of it is they were misunderstanding each other, and like a feedback loop, just amplifies the mess. The relationship seemed a mess, and we got them to talk yesterday, and I think all is well, or better at least. So they've been texting back and forth, and we said, no texting, or don't read into things, because now you're getting emotional, and you're just going to read into things filtered through your emotions. That's exactly what happened. So, a wonderful lady I work with at church was willing to kind of be the moderator so they could get in and talk with each other, and great results. So, in the meantime, stress levels are up, not sleeping. It's miserable to be a parent. Let alone, what your daughter must be going through. So, very glad to have this behind us, and then, use it as a life tip. Hey, sometimes relationships go sour for the wrong reason. I'm sorry about that. Go sour for the wrong reason. And doing the hard thing, like talking face to face, is actually a good thing. So we hope there's some good life lessons to point out to Anna at the end of this.
Distance 2 miles. Workout total time 23 minutes 33 seconds.
Alright, it is starting to get dark. I am not as reflective as I would wish. wished I had started 15 minutes earlier. But we're off of the road for now, so. So I don't know who else of you have gone through things where just trying to walk your child, especially in a first major conflict like this, and hope to show them that, hey, there actually can be another side and it can end well. Because that was not how we were going into this, you know what I mean? Thinking the worst, being afraid of the results. So, yeah. Anyway, there's times when you don't quite even know what to say, how to respond to something said. It's just so outlandish. Sorry, Station Road is a little noisier than I thought. I thought it'd be okay to talk here. Anyway, we're just doing the mom and dad thing. That's not easy. Alright, well, I'm nearing the end, almost to the Quakertown Farmers Market parking lot. We'll say mission is being accomplished. Just an easier run, not too far, not too hard. But altogether too noisy. So my apologies. I need to get back to a park, which was my intention today. Either a quiet park or just a short block from church to run around. Alright, my brother in Barrow, Alaska posted a story the other day. They had an early thaw and a record late date for snow cover. I think it used to be that cruise ships had no passage in the Arctic Ocean from the Pacific to the Atlantic. And during the summer, things have started opening up. So the temperatures are making a difference. That part of the world still. Being barked at is the noisiest part of this part of the run. Hooray! Trying to do some catching up on listening to Carlos's podcast. I've got a wealth of things I'm trying to listen to these days. I just finished reading through a short commentary on the book of Revelation. So I have had the goal this year to study 3 books of the Bible and not just read through quickly. So I went through Ezekiel first and Daniel. I've been through Isaiah before. Maybe I should have chosen Isaiah too. And Zechariah, and no. I chose those particular books because I wanted to go through Revelation slowly. Not just a zip and I'm done. So a couple of patterns I want to check out. One is I've done a study in the book of 1 John, taught a Sunday school class, and it was pointed out that 1 John, it keeps coming back to the same themes. They likened it to a bee circling a flower before it lands. So you see the same theme revisited. Now, I don't know if it's 3 times, but that would fit. I don't remember, so I'd have to look. I think it was 3 times. But in the book of Revelation, see these 3 patterns describing judgment. And so I thought that's kind of goes along with the way 1 John was written. So there's a plus for identifying the same author. Similar pattern like that. And the other pattern I was wanting to look at is sometimes a triad, so a set of 3s will be mentioned. It's like, hey, number 1, number 2, but hey, really pay attention to number 3. And number 3 is what number 1 and number 2 are setting you up for. So with the repeated 3 patterns of judgments, I just wonder if something similar is going on. I was going to see if there are other documented instances of that kind of writing pattern. We'll call it a device. So the Bible has full of different devices that are helpful to understand and see the patterns. So sometimes there is something in the book of Mark called a sandwich, where it's like 2 bookends, and then in the middle, or you could say 2 slices of bread, and the one in the middle is what it's really getting at. So you kind of have to see if there's a type of writing or a subject, and then it breaks away, and then it comes back to it. It comes back to the first one. It's like A, B, A. But they all support each other, and B is what you're supposed to take notice of being the emphasis. So anyway, that's been my study this year. And I did go, after reading through, and I also used some helpful tools. One is the ESV, English Standard Version Study Bible, a really great resource. Helps you see the pictures of things. Then I read a more lengthy commentary, quite detailed, technical. I think the guy's name was Osborne. My wife proofread the commentary. It's the Baker Exegetical Commentary in the New Testament. So there were times when things are pretty plain spoken. It's not as much of a puzzle, so I might skim past those things. I understand what the letters to the churches are talking about. It's pretty straightforward, but it's good to note the content because those can come back up. And then this last book was by seminary professor down at Westminster Seminary here near Philadelphia named Vern Poythress. And I forget what the subtitle is. Something about king. The king something. Anyway, obviously wasn't concentrating on the title. But a good commentary just the same, and readable. So I finished that this morning. So when I was out having my cup of coffee early in the morning on the bench on the front porch, that's what I was finishing up. So, good stuff. And not sure what I'm going to do next. So I enjoyed those. I think I would like to listen to a spoken, like a recorded, and just reading the book of Revelation out loud, hearing it. I'd like to do that just to kind of cap things off. And then we'll decide where to go next. All right. Well, I guess I stopped running a while ago. I guess I should stop my apps and stop my recording. So this is Steve on a Wednesday evening. I'm enjoying the break from the cold, but I know it's gonna come. So we'll see if we have a year like last year where we were in the 70s on Christmas Eve. I hope not, because that messed up a lot of the fruit trees with flowering, all their energy expended on flowering too soon, and then no fruit for this year. So, for example, we have a friend who has sour cherry trees and nothing produced this year because of that. And other things were threatened because of that, so we'll see. All right. Well, that's my hint at changing my pace, but I'm just going to keep walking here. But I'll say goodnight. So thanks for joining me on this run tonight. It is the 19th of October, 2016. And this is Steve. Bye for now.